How do we end up getting equations from a graph? Well, if you're given a graph, you first have to identify what the vertex is, because the vertex is going to give you your HK value. So in this particular instance, we have a vertex here at -3, -1. So your H value is -3, and your K value is -1. Okay, and again, your vertex, just in case we were unclear, is right there. Okay. Next thing you have to do is you need to know another very clear, well-defined point so that you can have an XY coordinate. And it doesn't matter which one you choose, you just need one of them. So here, for example, we have two options, and I'm going to choose this one. Okay, and this particular point happens to be at -2, -5. Okay, and so that represents the X and the Y coordinate for this particular point. Okay, and so I'm going to be able to substitute that in. So I've got -2 and I've got -5. So once I know what that is, I have 4 of the 5 unknown variables. I have y, I have x, h, and k. So all I need to do now is plug and substitute those known variables into the equation so that I can solve for a. So that's what I'm going to do next. I've got -5 is equal to a times -2 plus 3. Here, why don't I do it this way? -2 minus -3 all squared minus 1. So I need to clean up that middle part just because it's a little challenging. So I've got -1 times -3 is actually +3 all squared minus 1. So -5 is equal to a. -2 plus 3 is +1. +1 squared minus 1. So -5 is equal to a minus 1, because +1 squared is 1. 1 times a is just a. And now I need to get a all by itself, which means I have to subtract, or sorry, rather I have to add 1 to both sides. And so if I add 1 to both sides, then what ends up happening is I discover that a is equal to -4. Okay? And so now that I have my values for a, h, and k, now I can actually get the equation for the graph. So I know that every graph has to follow, or every equation in vertex form for a quadratic has to follow this basic form. And now I know what a, h, and k are, so I'm going to substitute those in. So I know that a is -4. My h value is -3, so in the equation it has to show up as +3. And my k value is -1. Okay? So that, therefore, is my equation for this particular graph.